Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to our Venerable Teacher Bhante, Pinwat Loku Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Meritorious Dhamma friends and children, you know our Supreme Buddha is called Sattha Devamanusanam, teacher of Devas and humans. And the Supreme Buddha is called Lokavidu as well, which means the knower of the worlds. On the Poya day like today, on the Posan Poya day, we have a beautiful Dhamma talk to listen from the Supreme Buddha. And we are really grateful to the Venerable Arahant Bhante Mahamahinda, who gave these authentic teachings to Sri Lankans, to you, from the Supreme Buddha. We are really grateful. And as our gratitude, we show our gratitude, we listen to this Dhamma talk on this Poya day, and we try, we learn, and we keep them in our heart and practice, and do meritorious deeds and collect merits, and make our both worlds perfect, happy, and we get the opportunity to release from this mass of suffering from the samsara as well. This beautiful Dhamma talk is available in Anguttara Nikaya, the numerical discourses of the Supreme Buddha. The name of this sutta is Chathummaharaja. In English you see kings. Maybe you know the meaning of Chathummaharaja. Chathummaharaja is the first heavenly world. The first heavenly world is called Chathummaharaja. It is called Chathummaharaja because 4 great kings live in that world. Who are the 4 great kings? Maybe you know. Viruda, Virupaksha, Vaisravana, and Dharashtra. Maybe you know the second heavenly world, the name of the second heavenly world. It is called Tavatimsa. Who is the ruler of Tavatimsa heavenly world? King Sakkha. King Sakkha rules these 2 heavenly worlds, the first and the second. What is the name of the first heavenly world? Chathummaharaja. And the second heavenly world is Tavatimsa. God Sakkha rules these 2 worlds. From this beautiful sutta, you understand that many things about these 2 worlds, and then the teachings of the Supreme Buddha is very important. When you collect good merits by practicing the factors you learn from this beautiful sutta, you get the opportunity to be born in a world like that as well, and practice Dhamma and release from the suffering, from the samsara. When the Buddha preaches this beautiful Dharma talk, he lived in Jetavana monastery, in Anathapindika's monastery in Savatthi. He addressed the monks as bhikkhus, which means venerable monks or dear monks. But the factors you learn from this beautiful Dhamma talk is just for the lay people. Then what's the purpose of the Supreme Buddha preached this Dhamma talk to the Venerable Bhantes? Because the Bhantes go to lay people and preach this Dhamma to the lay people to practice, to get benefits. The Buddha starts this Dhamma talk like this: Bhikkhus, on the 8th of the fortnight, the ministers and assembly members of the 4 great kings wander over this world. This is something you do not see with your own eyes. 4 great kings have assembly members and ministers. They come to this human world. This is the word of the Supreme Buddha. This is not an order of the Supreme Buddha. This is an order from God Sakkha. Sakkha asks them to come to the human world to see something very special, to look for the people who practice something very beautiful, who collects good merit. And then the Buddha says, sometimes we do not see them. Sometimes we do not know about the 4 great kings and the assembly members or ministers who come to this human world to check us. But they do. You know, we have 4 Poya days in a month. Maybe you know one of them, which is called Full Moon Poya Day. And then on the Full Moon Poya Day, you can see the beautiful moon in the sky. Right. And then there are 3 other Poya days in the month as well, maybe once a week. The 8th of the fortnight means that on a Poya day like that, the ministers and assembly members come to this human world to look for something special, thinking, we hope there are many people who behave properly towards their mother and father. Why do they come to the human world? To see people who behave properly towards their mother and father. They do not come to see anything else. They don't come to see people who are really good at math or science in the class, if you are a child. Or they do not come to see people very wealthy or not. It's not the reason. If you are a person like that, it doesn't matter. But if you are a person who behave properly towards your mother and father, you are someone that they catch. If we talk about this first factor, they look from us, behave properly towards your mother and father. What's the meaning of this? To behave properly towards your mom and dad is, maybe if you are a child, you listen to them. You follow the word they speak. Maybe you help them. You keep your house tidy, and then you prepare something for them. You help cooking in the kitchen to your mom. You help your father garden, water the plants or something else. If they are really tired, you can offer a glass of water to them after their work. When they're sick, you can give their medication, or you can wash their clothes. You can take care of them very well. When they get old, you do not let them go to the elders' home. You take care of them by yourself. Then you collect a huge, great good merit that helps us to be born in a very safe world and to release from this suffering. The merit, the karma, good karma is very powerful by helping your mom and dad. If you're a child, maybe you study, you learn very well. You follow the word. You follow the advices they give. Behave properly towards your mother and father, because this reason is very special, very important, very crucial. So you want to take care of your mother and father because it's a huge good merit. The human beings, the heavenly beings come to this human world especially to see the first thing. You remember the first one? If you are a person who takes care of your mother and father, they see you, they like you. And then the second reason, the second factor that they look for is behave properly towards ascetics and Brahmins. Ascetics and Brahmins, the meaning of this is bhikkhus or venerable monks or Swamin Wahanselas or Bhantes in the temple. Behave properly towards venerable monks, which means you respect them, you listen to them, you listen to the Dhamma they speak, and maybe you follow the advice they speak, they give you, and then you worship them. You treat them. You go often and visit to the temple. You offer dana, you offer alms food to Venerable Bhantes. When you offer dana, when you offer alms to Venerable Bhantes, so the Buddha speaks that you offer to the entire community of the Supreme Buddha, the Venerable monks, who lived in the past, like Venerable Sariputta Bhante, Venerable Mahamoggallana Bhante, Mahakassapa Venerable Arhat Bhante, and all the monks are offered from your dana, from your giving, from your alms. And then, because of this reason, Buddha speaks that you collect good merit like the waters in the great ocean. Waters in the great ocean cannot be measured. No one can measure the water in the four great ocean. In the same way, the merit you collect by giving dana to Venerable Bhantes is just like the waters in the great ocean. Behave properly towards ascetic and Brahmins. Behave properly towards venerable monks is a huge good merit. The heavenly beings come to this human world to see the people who behave properly to the Venerable Bhantes. Why? You see the meaning of this later. And then the third reason they come to this human world is honor the elders of the family. If you are a person, maybe a child, maybe anyone else, who has this beautiful quality, what is it? Honor the elders of the family. They come and they see, and then they notice you. Who are the elders in the family? Maybe your grandparents, maybe your uncle or aunt, maybe your elder sisters or brothers or someone else. You respect them, you listen to them, you have a good family. You do not talk back to them. You take care of them, and there are many things that you can behave properly, respecting them, spreading loving kindness, and developing compassion. You can live in your family respecting each other. It is also a huge good merit that the heavenly beings look for from you. You remember the first factor they look for? They come to the human world and then they look for that if you are a person who behaves properly towards your mom and dad, that's the first one. And then the second one is behave properly towards ascetic and Brahmins, which means the venerable monks. And then the third one is honor the elders of the family. We will see the fourth one then. Observing uposatha, keeping uposatha precepts. Normally you practice 5 precepts, which are abstention from killing, abstention from stealing, abstention from sexual misconduct, abstention from lying, abstention from drugs and alcohol. These are the 5 precepts you practice every day. But on the Poya day, on the Uposatha day, special day, you practice 8 precepts. For the third one, abstention from sexual misconduct, on the Uposatha day you practice abstention from incelibacy. It's a special precept. And then eating at improper times, and then abstention from entertainments, abstention from luxurious seats and beds. These are the 8 precepts that you can practice. Why the heavenly beings, why devas come and see these good qualities from the people live in the human world? Because this is the Dhamma of the Supreme Buddha. When you follow the Dhamma of the Supreme Buddha, you have these qualities. You behave properly towards your mom and dad, and then you respect your elders in the family, and then you go to temple and offer dana, and then you observe, you are a virtuous person, you observe 5 precepts. On the opposite day you have 8 precepts. On the other hand, this is not an order of the Supreme Buddha. Buddha did not ask the heavenly beings to come to the human world and check the people who live in this human world. No. This is an order from the Sakkha to them. Why? Because the heavenly beings, like humans, who practice Dhamma very well. But the Supreme Buddha, with his divine eye, saw these heavenly beings come to the human world. And then the 5th factor that they look for from the humans in the human world is do meritorious deeds. What are the meritorious actions you can practice at home? Going for refuge is the best merit you collect. Meritorious deeds. Going for refuge is Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. That's the huge good merit you collect. And then you pay your respect to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and you offer flowers, you offer candles, or you offer oil lamps, incense, and then you offer dana at home, you pay, you chant, you practice meditation, you develop your metta, your loving kindness, your compassion. You practice the meditation on Supreme Buddha's qualities. Maybe you practice more and more meditations like impermanence, many things. Helping each other, helping patients. You go to temple and sweep the garden. You grow flowers for the Supreme Buddha. Many things. Many. You speak good words. These are the 5 factors the heavenly beings come to the human world and look for from the humans. What is the first one? If you remember, behave properly towards your mother and father. Behave properly towards ascetics and Brahmins, venerable monks. Honor the elders of the family. And then observe the Uposatha, 8 precepts. And then the next one is do meritorious deeds, do many things to collect good merits. So these are the factors the heavenly beings see. Heavenly beings wanted to see from the humans. When they come to the human world, they go everywhere. They come to Sri Lanka. Maybe if you live in Colombo, they come to this city as well. If you live in Anuradhapura, they go there as well. If you live in London, it is also a part of this world. They go there. They go to Africa, they go to America, they go to Canada, they go to Australia, they go to New Zealand. Everywhere they go and they see the people who practice this beautiful Dhamma from the Supreme Buddha. So wherever you live in this human world, they go, they come to you and check you. If you're a child who has these 5 qualities, they notice you. If you're a person who has these beautiful 5 qualities, they notice. And then the second part of this discourse is on the 14th of the fortnight, the sons of the 4 great kings wander over this world. Remember the first time the ministers and assembly members came to this human world every month. And then the second time, in the same month, second time, the sons of the four great kings, thousands of sons, they come to this human world and they go everywhere, here and there, all over the world, to look for the same factors from the human beings. Remember the first one? If you are a person who behave properly towards your mother and father, if you are a person who behave properly towards ascetics and brahmins, to venerable monks, if you are a person who honors the elders of your family, if you are a person who observes 8 precepts, Uposatha precepts on the Poya day, if you are a person who collects good merit every day, doing meritorious deeds, you are a person that they see, that they wanted to see. The second time, the sons of the four great kings, they are also heavenly beings. They come and then they look for the same factors. And in the commentaries, there is something very beautiful about this factor. They come and then they write your name on a gold paper in golden letters. And then the third factor, on the 15th, the Uposatha day, the four great kings themselves wander of this world, thinking, we hope there are many, many, many people who behave properly towards their mother and father, who behave properly, the same thing, who behave properly towards ascetics and Brahmins, who honors the elders of the family, who observes Uposatha precepts, who collects good merit by doing meritorious deeds. The four great kings themselves come to this human world and they go here and there everywhere in the world, to America, to Canada, to Sri Lanka, to India, to Korea, to Japan, to Europe, to Australia, everywhere they go and then they see, they look for the people who have these 5 things, 5 qualities from the human world. And then this is something you do not see with your own eyes. So how do you believe these factors? How do you believe this? Because this is the beautiful Dhamma preached by our supremely enlightened Supreme Buddha. This is the Dhamma preached by our supremely enlightened Buddha. If you have Shraddha, you believe this. The heavenly beings also come to this human world to check you. If you are a person who has these beautiful qualities, not anything else. If you have a golden medal from Olympic Games, it doesn't matter. They don't want to say that. If you are a person who are the smartest boy in the class, it doesn't matter. Maybe if you have a good look, you are good looking or you are bad looking, it doesn't matter. You are rich or you don't have money, it doesn't matter. It's not. But if you have these 5 qualities, that's something very, very special. So, to learn the other part of this beautiful Dhamma talk, we will continue after a short break. Namo Buddhaya.